The tropics are not over just yet in the Atlantic. So we still have a few areas we're going to continue to watch over the coming weeks. First, we do have this one located out just around Bermuda that possibly could be named Epsilon. The National Hurricane Center is giving it an 80% chance of developing into a named area. And then another one located out here in the Caribbean. Now this is still loads of time to watch. If the National Hurricane Center does decide to name it, it would be named Zeta. If this one's named Epsilon, a lot of ifs, a lot of variables, a lot of possible quote unquote coming into when we're talking about these. So Epsilon out near Bermuda, Zeta in the Caribbean, if all goes according to plan here. And tropical season is not over until another month. Keep that in mind. I'll show you a graph here in just a second what I'm talking about. So what are we talking about here? Well, numerical guidance continuing to come together with something popping out there. And then you have our area down here in the Caribbean, which I can't stress this enough, and I put this on the screen just to kind of define it for you. That's 180 hours out. Long term, there is nothing organized at this time, which means when we're talking about numerical guidance, if you don't have those initialization factors in there, the models will vary quite considerably. So if you are one of those people that like to look at models and you see this and you might be thinking, oh my goodness, Cuba and Florida need to watch out at this time. It's just so many variables. Key thing is just to continue to watch it closely. All right, so let's talk about what I was talking about here with the climatology. The peak of hurricane season was back on September 10th, September 11th, right around that time period. Then we start to see it back off. Mid to late October, actually see another little peak coming up here around October 20th. And then we start to see it fall back. So what does this tell me? Well, hurricane season, albeit not as active as in September, on a yearly basis, still is the possibility of forming up a few storms here before we end up in November. The Atlantic hurricane season doesn't officially end to November 30th. So loads of time to watch here, keeping an eye on these few areas in the tropics.